because of social media, I agree with you. You can create a following, a persona, a personal brand, a connection. I mean, Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, will frequently like just retweet or converse with somebody who's online who's probably making, $12.50 an hour, if they've got like good thoughts. So it's never been easier to get connected, but maybe it's never been harder to stand out. I don't know. What are your thoughts on like standing out? Because there's a lot of weak sauce people in America right now. What are your thoughts on like standing out? It probably should be easier to stand out than ever if you have great work ethic, but what gets lost in the maze of social media and all that kind of craziness?
Yeah, it's never been easier for anybody to be great. Never mind a young person. I mean, I always tell them like, you've got more opportunity now than ever before because the bar has been set so ridiculously low for you, right? And coupled with the cultural expectation that, quote unquote, teenagers aren't going to be worthwhile anyway. So you've got all of that that's working in your favor, young person, because if you can show the opposite, then people are going to take notice. But what happens is, and I'll give you a perfect example from our Apogee program. But what happens is if young people go at it and they try to do it like everybody else is doing it, God, I can't get a job. Okay, what are you doing? Shit, man, I sent my resumes out to 100 people. Okay, cool. Well, Scott, you've been an employer. I've been an employer. I can tell you, if I've got 100 resumes that come across my desk, I don't have the time nor desire to look through 100 resumes. Yep. I do not. So if I have to go through it, I'm going to look for an arbitrary metric on how to filter, which a lot of times a college degree for some places ends up being that, right? So why would you put your piece of paper in a stack with other pieces of paper? So let's get in front of the actual hiring managers. Let's actually put together a digital portfolio versus a resume. Let's get an email that's out to them that's not asking for a job, that just goes, hey, I admire you. Here's why. I'm a young person. Here's what I'm doing. Here's why you're my hero. Here's a video of me explaining it that's coming through an email. And here's my digital portfolio. I'd love to take 10 minutes of your time and just ask 3 specific questions. I don't want anything else from you, right? You start making relationships that way, showing yourself as different, and the doors open. And I say, we had a very clear example of this happen simultaneously in the Apogee program. I had a tale of 2 young men that I was working with, one of them 19 at a prestigious university, the other young man 15. The 15-year-old didn't know exactly where he wants to go in terms of, quote unquote, what do you want to be when you grow up, which is a shitty question to ask kids, but he had no idea what he wanted to do. 19-year-old had a very clear understanding that he wanted to go into the financial services industry. In the same week, the 19-year-old says, hey, will you do me a favor? Will you look over my resume? I'm sending this out. I've sent it out to multiple places. I can't get a bite. He's 19. He's putting himself through college. He's a straight A student. He's doing all the quote unquote extracurriculars. He's a musician. He's doing all this stuff, right? I can't get a bite, man. What's going on? During that same week, 15-year-old had done basically what I just said, just to get himself an interview of the CEO of a financial services organization in his hometown. That's all he wanted, was to go in there and go, you're my hero, but it's your work ethic. Here's why. 10 minutes is all I want. He asked those questions. The guy goes, we can go longer. And he goes, no, I promised you 10 minutes. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. If it's okay if I email you just my progress moving forward, I'd love to do it. Here's my portfolio of all the other stuff I'm doing. That financial services firm called him a couple months later and said, hey, I need a young person like you. I'll pay you under the table until you're 18. When you're 18, I'll pay for you to get the relevant licenses, as long as you'll work for me for a year thereafter, and we can see if we can do something, crazy together. Perfect example. Amazing. Same week.
Amazing.